Hey jelly babes, welcome back to my channel. So I had this really cool idea in mind for a Kaleidoscope mani, and I thought that the Uberchic mood ring pigment paint would have been perfect for it. I have done a video using the pigment before, and it was a lot more successful, but I was really disappointed at how it looked on my own nails. So I'm just sort of going to basically take you through the steps on how to prep your nail ready for a gel manicure. It's so key and so important if you want your mani to last. I realise the irony in this is that basically after wearing this for 24 hours I take it off, but that's because this just completely failed, as you will see. But I just thought, I don't normally do my own nails very often on here. I always do it on my fake nails, so I thought I would just go through the steps with you on how I always prep my nails. And normally I keep them on, and you know, I get 2 to 3 weeks, you know, wear quite easily without it chipping. So you want to file it into your desired shape. I don't really have one, as you can see here. I just try to keep them sort of quite short, just because my nails don't grow that great. So I just sort of try and keep it natural looking as possible. So then I'm coming in with a metal cuticle pusher. So this is from Kiki London. Lots of mixed views on whether you should use these or not. I've used them for quite a few years, and as long as you're careful, they shouldn't cause any damage to your nails. You know, you just need to, you can see how easily this is coming off. I have got quite a lot of build up, so sorry if this grosses anybody out, but I haven't done my own nails for such a long time, so yeah. But I actually find it quite I can't think of the word, like therapeutic's probably the wrong word, but it's quite satisfying when you sort of really, you know, get a fair bit off. Normally I hardly get anything like this off because I'm doing my nails quite regularly, but you can see why this is so important, because that's all, like, you know, dead or loose sort of bits on the surface of your nail, which can quite easily cause it to chip. So once you've done your cuticle work, you want to come in with a buffing block. I'm using Divine by Natasha Lee's. Absolutely love her products. Would definitely recommend them. You know, this one, it like, obviously it does its job, but it doesn't feel like my nails are overly buffed, if that makes sense. So then I'm coming in with some isopropyl alcohol or nail cleanser and a cotton pad, and just getting rid of all of that dirt and all of that dust from the nail, and making sure that it's, you know, clean and oil free, because if you've got oils on your nails, if it's not clean, that will cause lifting or chipping. So there you go. I do give it quite a good thorough cleanse, and I find I kind of go over it, and then I'd actually come back in again and give it another clean with another wipe. So I'm actually just getting rid of the dust off my work area as well, because I don't want that being kicked up on the nails. So I use a primer just because it just adds that little bit of a tacky layer that your gel base coat can kind of grip to. It's all just a build up of layers, which helps the gel mani last as long as it does if you know, you've done all of these steps. So I just sort of put a bit around the nail, avoid the skin area, and just leave it to air dry for about 10 seconds. So another tip to avoid chipping or lifting is when you are applying your base coat, like, don't go right to the end of your nail, because obviously it can quite easily flood your cuticle area, and it can like go into the sidewalls as well. And if you get it over to the sidewalls and you haven't realized and cleaned it off before curing, that is just going to basically chip, and it's just going to be so frustrating because you've done all the hard work and it doesn't last that long. So you can see that I've got it as close as possible, but it's not right to my cuticle area. So that definitely helps with keeping your mani, well, making your mani last longer. So I'm taking the base coat, and as you can see, I'm sort of taking it quite close but not fully to the end of the nail, and again, you know, doing that on the sidewall. So you don't want to have your brush like with tons of polish on it, because you then can be applying it too thick. So you can see there that I've got some of it that's gone over onto the sidewall, so you're going to need to clean that off before putting into your lamp. And that's really easy to do with isopropyl alcohol and a clean-up brush. This is Divine by Natasha Lee's clean-up brush as well. And oh, it is so amazing. It really makes clean-up so much more easier. So make sure that you don't do all 5 fingers in one go. Because think about the position of your thumb. It's facing down and all the polish that's wet is just going to sort of like gather on the end of your nail. And it's just not going to look great. So 4 fingers, cure them, then do your thumb separately. So I'm using Kiki London's Black Heart. So I'm just going to make sure to avoid going into the cuticle area. So I'm going to go and keep it as close to where I put my base coat. So, you know, you want it as close as possible because you don't want weird gaps. But yeah, just nice and slow, nice and careful. So this is me doing it in real time as well, so you can see how I'm working the brush. So make sure that you seal the free edge as well by just rubbing the brush along the edge of your nail, which kind of caps it like I'm doing here. And I've just done the rest of the other nails. So I'm just going to have again a little bit of a clean up, just neaten it up. So much better if you've got a nice clean edge. Somebody that's perfect for this is MB Nail Art on Instagram. Like, her nails just always look perfect. So this is the Pigment. So it actually just looks like tan in the bottle. So this can be used on gel nails and it can be used on normal nails. So you would just apply it like I am doing here. And if you're not doing it in a gel manicure, you would just leave it to dry for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then it's going to be fully dried. It kind of just goes like a bit of a matte finish, I think, when it's dried. And basically you just want to wait till the tan colour has disappeared. But if you are doing a gel manicure, you can cure it in your lamp it actually needs to be put in for 2 minutes. So it's a lot longer curing time than normal, even though you're using an LED lamp. And hopefully you've noticed anyway that I haven't gone right to the edge of the black with this product, just because I want to have a bit of a gap so I can come back in with the top coat and make sure that it's all fully encapsulated. So this had gone in the lamp for 2 minutes, so I don't know why that one had barely dried, but I find like it takes me a lot longer for it to dry in my lamp. It could just be down to the lamp. But there you go, it's all done. So you can see it's kind of changing to that like a deep blue, and you can see that like gap where the black comes through. So, you know, if you kind of make sure that you top coat that, then you know it's going to be fully encapsulated. So I'm going to right to the edge of the black polish and making sure like I'm covering all areas. So again, fully encapsulated to make it last longer. So because I thought I would be wearing this for quite some time, and it's winter time and it's just when your nails are at the kind of weakest, I was going to put on some of Kiki London's Builder Gel. It's basically a thicker gel than a normal top coat, a normal gel top coat, and it's just more resilient to, you know, everyday use, and, you know, it just means that it should last that little bit longer. So this is the only thing that I added to the manicure that I didn't add when I did it on my fake nails. So maybe this is the reason why it didn't work as well, but to be honest I can't see why, because I'm just adding a layer of you know, of thicker top coat basically. And you want to go ahead and cure that in your lamp. So then I just removed this tacky layer because it's just too sticky to stamp over the top of. So I just wanted to remove it. So you can see that I'm starting to get a little bit of a colour change here. I did expect it to be more vivid than it was, just because of how quickly it changed when I did it on the fake nails. So this is the stamping plate that I'm using for the Kaleidoscope. So I went for this image here. So because obviously I want my base coat to come through, I'm using more of an open image as opposed to the 2 images next to it, which are a bit more like a negative space. So it's kind of like more of the stamping polish would be more prominent. And because my nails are quite short, I just thought it'd just be much better if I used an image like that. So because I'm stamping, I'm going to be applying some liquid latex just to make sure that the cleanup is a lot more quicker. So this one, it doesn't change colour, basically it just kind of like looks less shiny when it's dry. So I'm using Hit the Bottle black stamping polish, and I'm picking up this image here, and I'm basically trying to put it as central as possible on the middle finger, as you can see. And then for the other, I sort of put it on a bit more of an angle, so I didn't want it kind of looking identical on every single nail. So you can see that I position it just slightly off. And then I'm going to peel it off, the satisfying part to a mani. Just going to get rid of those little niggly bits as well. So you can see then, and I haven't got that much of a cleanup, which is great, especially with a black polish. That tends to be a bit more awkward to get off. And if your skin is quite dry like mine is as well. But you can see with that cleanup brush of Natasha Lee's, it was done in no time at all. And then finally I'm coming in with the No Wipe Topcoat. So I don't know at what point this mani just sort of didn't work. I don't know if I had done anything wrong. I mean, the only thing I can think of is matte. I didn't use matte with the other one, but I mean, there are so many layers of the top coat, like it shouldn't really have affected it. So like here you can see like it's not too bad, but when it was on my nails, it basically just looked like dark blue or black. Like there was hardly any colour change at all, which I was so shocked about and so disappointed, because it looked so amazing when I did it on the artificial nail. So I'm really desperately trying to get it to show up. So you can see that the colours just looked a little bit more muddier. I envisioned it to be so much nicer in my head. So I was really disappointed with this, and it took me ages as well because I hadn't done my nails for so long. So yeah, so kind of like the only way to kind of get that rainbow colour was to actually rub ice over it, which probably didn't help. It's probably just scratching my top coat off, knowing me. But it was just, I don't know, it just instantly kind of go back to that dark blue or black. Like it didn't work how I expected, so I was actually quite disappointed. So this is what it looked like the next day, and yeah, you can see that a lot of the product has just washed away. Like I've got a little bit left on the pinky, and obviously with the thumbnail wasn't too bad. But like the only way you can actually see the stamping design was because it was basically just, it evaporate. But you see there where I'm pushing, and it's kind of like, it seems like that like liquid is moving underneath the nail. So I was like, yep. Well, other than the fact that it looks horrendous, this is coming off straight away. So that's what I did. As soon as I pressed stop on this video, I took it off. But I didn't have any damage or anything weird happen to my nails after I removed it. So yeah, so I was really gutted with this one because I had such a lovely vision in my head of it looking like a proper kaleidoscope with that change of colours, but it just didn't come out as I had planned. So if you can offer any advice, any constructive criticism, I would appreciate that, because I would love to be able to wear this on my nails and get a much more striking mani. So thank you so much for watching. Please press that free subscribe button and take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.